Retirement is supposed to be the reward for a lifetime of hard work, a time when we finally slow down, breathe deeply, and savor the freedom we've earned. But what if I told you that some of the biggest threats to that freedom aren't lurking out there in the world? They're the quiet choices we make ourselves. Sometimes it's a shiny new car we don't really need. Sometimes it's a vacation property that becomes more burden than joy. Sometimes it's trusting too easily with our money, our time, our dreams. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens little by little. One expensive treat here, one risky investment there, until suddenly what was supposed to be a season of peace feels tight, stressful, and uncertain. In this video, we'll walk together through 5 silent traps that catch so many retirees off guard, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. Because true wealth in retirement isn't about what you own. It's about how free you feel every morning when you wake up. Stay with me. What you'll learn today could change the way you live every day ahead. Take a moment. Think about everything you worked for, every sacrifice, every long hour, every dream tucked away for someday. You're here now, and it's time to protect that future with wisdom, not impulse. Let's begin by uncovering the first quiet trap. The temptation to buy luxury items that seem to celebrate your success, but too often end up weighing you down more than lifting you up. Unnecessary luxury purchases. When you finally reach retirement, it's tempting, almost natural, to want to reward yourself. After all, you spent decades grinding it out, saving every penny, sacrificing vacations, delaying new cars, skipping luxuries so you could build a solid nest egg. Now that you're here, why not treat yourself a little, right? Well, there's a fine line between treating yourself and accidentally setting traps that drain your savings faster than you realize. And luxury items, no matter how shiny, stylish, or sophisticated they seem, are often the quickest way to slip into that danger zone. Let's talk about it honestly. A luxury item usually costs 2, 3, sometimes even 5 times more than the basic version. But does it bring 5 times more happiness? 5 times more value? Chances are it doesn't. Take cars, for example. Tom, a buddy of mine, always dreamed of owning a cherry red Corvette when he retired. He finally pulled the trigger a few years ago. It looked incredible parked in his driveway. But guess what? After the thrill of driving it for a month or two, reality set in. Insurance premiums skyrocketed. Repairs weren't cheap either. And with the way it guzzled gas, even Sunday drives became expensive. The worst part? It sat mostly in use because it wasn't practical for grocery runs or road trips. That dream car became a very expensive lawn ornament. And it's not just cars. Think about the latest tech, new iPhones, tablets, laptops. Becky, my neighbor, had to have the newest phone every single year, even though her previous one still worked fine. She spent thousands upgrading devices she barely used to their full potential. It's a classic trap. Marketers make you feel like you're falling behind if you don't stay on the cutting edge. But in retirement, you're not competing with anyone. You don't need the flashiest gadget to enjoy your day. The real flex is being content, not chasing upgrades. Then there's designer clothing. High-end handbags, limited edition sneakers, tailored suits. They're gorgeous, no doubt. But let's be real. Do you need a $700 pair of sneakers to walk your dog in the park? Probably not. And that luxury handbag? It might look stunning at a gala, but how often are you really attending black tie events once you retired? My friend Lisa used to joke, "I've got enough shoes to last 2 lifetimes, but nowhere fancy left to wear them." Funny thing is, she was right. In retirement, comfort, practicality, and smart spending matter a whole lot more than keeping up appearances. Jewelry is another one. Sure, it sparkles beautifully, and there's a sentimental value to some pieces. But do you need more? Probably not. Adding to your jewelry collection now often adds more responsibility. Extra insurance, storage worries, potential theft risks, without adding much to your everyday happiness. In fact, many retirees I know have started selling or gifting away their luxury items rather than buying more. The heart of the matter is this. Luxury items often provide a quick rush of joy, but a long tail of regret. Their value fades, their upkeep costs pile up, and their usefulness dwindles. When you're living on a fixed income, Every dollar you spend needs to work for you, not against you. Retirement is about freedom, not about collecting things that anchor you down. So before swiping that card on a shiny new toy, ask yourself, will this really make my day-to-day life better? Will it reduce my stress or increase my joy long term? Or is it just a momentary thrill that'll soon collect dust and regret? Because in retirement, true luxury isn't owning the fanciest car or the biggest house. It's having the peace of mind that your money is safe, your needs are met, and you're free to spend your days exactly the way you want to. Trust me, real wealth in retirement isn't parked in your driveway. It's parked in your heart, in your relationships, your adventures, and the memories you're still going to make. But luxury purchases aren't the only hidden trap. Sometimes it's not about what you drive or where, it's about where you go and how much freedom you're willing to trade for a promise of the perfect getaway. Let's talk about one of the most common and most costly decisions many retirees face: buying a timeshare. Buying a timeshare vacation ownership. On the surface, buying a timeshare sounds like a dream. You imagine locking in your favorite vacation spot, coming back year after year to a place that feels familiar, almost like a second home. It's pitched as a smart investment in your happiness, a reward after years of hard work. But here's the hard truth that many retirees, like my friend Jim and his wife Carol, learn the hard way. Timeshares are often much more burden than a blessing. Jim was sold on the idea during a vacation in Florida. The sales rep made it sound irresistible. A beachfront condo, guaranteed availability, a lifetime of sunny memories with the grandkids. It all sounded perfect. What they didn't emphasize nearly as much were the ongoing costs, the hefty maintenance fees that climbed year after year, the property taxes, the hidden insurance costs. Suddenly, what looked like an affordable getaway started eating into their retirement savings like termites through a wood deck. And it wasn't just the money. The timeshare locked them into one location, one specific week, every year. At first, it was charming. They made memories. But after a few years, the kids grew up, schedules changed, new interests pulled them in different directions. Jim and Carol found themselves stuck going to the same place, even when their hearts weren't in it. It turned what was supposed to be a joyful escape into a dreaded obligation. Vacation should feel freeing, not like ticking off a box on a contract. Flexibility is gold in retirement, and timeshares steal that from you. They assume your future will look exactly like today, but life doesn't work that way. Health changes, family dynamics shift, interests evolve. Locking yourself into the same vacation year after year can feel suffocating when you could be exploring somewhere new, trying different experiences, or even traveling when a mood strikes, not just when your timeshare says you can. Another thing most people don't realize, timeshares are notoriously difficult to sell. There's an entire industry dedicated to helping people get out of timeshares, and it's not cheap or easy. Resale value is often a fraction of what you paid, assuming you can find a buyer at all. It's like trying to resell a half-eaten cake. Everyone wants a fresh one, not leftovers. Nowadays, with so many flexible options like Airbnb and VRBO, you can still have beautiful, comfortable vacations without locking yourself down, without paying annual fees, and without carrying long-term financial baggage. You pick the location, you pick the time, you pick the style. Beach villa one year, cozy mountain cabin the next. No strings attached. Timeshares make big promises. Security, luxury, consistency. But at their core, they ask you to trade your financial freedom and your flexibility for something that might only fit your life for a few short years. And in retirement, where freedom is one of the sweetest rewards you've earned, that's a dangerous trade to make. If you're considering a timeshare, stop and ask yourself, will I still want this 5, 10, 15 years from now? Am I ready to commit to one place, 1 week, every single year? Can I afford the rising fees without hurting my retirement budget? Do I value flexibility more than predictability? For Jim and Carol, hindsight was 2020. They eventually paid to get out of their timeshare and now spend their vacations differently each year, visiting family, exploring new cities, even booking last-minute deals when they find a place that catches their eye. They often say the best trip they ever took was the one away from their timeshare. Freedom is precious. Don't sign away for a glossy sales pitch. While timeshares can quietly anchor your freedom, there's another kind of dream that tugs at many retirees. The idea of finally chasing those lifelong passions. A beautiful boat, a professional camera, a home gym built like an Olympic training center. They all sound like rewards, but without careful thought, they can quickly become obligations disguised as dreams. Let's explore how expensive hobbies can quietly drain more than just your wallet. Buying a large boat or expensive hobby equipment. If you're like a lot of folks hitting retirement, you might find yourself daydreaming about finally indulging in those hobbies you never had time for. Maybe it's buying a boat, building a wood shop, investing in a state-of-the-art camera, or even setting up a home gym that would make a professional athlete jealous. After all, isn't retirement supposed to be about living your best life? Here's the thing, though. Big-ticket hobby purchases often come with big, unexpected strings attached, and sometimes they turn into burdens that quietly steal your money, your energy, and even your joy. Take boats, for example. My cousin Mike, who had a great career in finance, always dreamed of owning a sailboat. As soon as he retired, he bought a beautiful 38-foot yacht, all polished wood and gleaming white sails. He pictured long, lazy afternoons cruising along the coast, maybe the grandkids coming aboard for weekend adventures. Sounds amazing, right? But within a year, the dream started unraveling. First, the maintenance. Boats are notoriously needy. There's an old saying that a boat is a hole in the water you pour money into, and it's absolutely true. Docking fees, maintenance, repairs, winter storage, cleaning, insurance. It all added up fast. Every month, it seemed like Mike was writing another check just to keep the boat afloat. Literally. Then there was a reality of how often he actually used it. At first, he went out pretty regularly. But as time went on, family schedules got busy. The weather didn't always cooperate, and health issues popped up. Before long, the boat sat in the marina, racking up fees while gathering barnacles. What was supposed to be a symbol of freedom became an expensive, stressful reminder of money wasted. And it's not just boats. Expensive hobby equipment, like high-end cameras, drones, woodworking machinery, or fancy fitness equipment, can follow the same pattern. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of a new passion project, telling yourself it's an investment in my happiness. But unless it genuinely fits into your lifestyle and your financial plan, it often ends up gathering dust, or worse, draining your savings. I know a couple, Dana and Greg, who invested in a professional-grade home gym when they retired. They went all out, squat racks, ellipticals, treadmills, free weights, the works. For the first few months, they used it almost every day. But eventually, it became easier to meet friends for walks or take yoga classes at the community center. Today, their dream gym is mostly an expensive storage room for holiday decorations. The real danger is when hobbies stop being fun and start feeling like obligations. You buy a boat, and now you feel guilty if you're not using it every weekend. You invest in a $5,000 camera, and now vacations feel pressured to be photo shoots. What started as a passion project slowly morphs into a heavy, invisible weight you're dragging behind you. The best advice? Before making a big purchase for a hobby, give yourself time. Rent before you buy. Borrow equipment if you can. Ask yourself the hard questions. Is this something I'll still love doing 5 years from now? Am I willing to handle the ongoing costs and maintenance? Does this fit my retirement lifestyle, or does it reshape my life around it? Because here's the thing, retirement should be about lightness, not new obligations. It's about having the freedom to wake up one morning and decide to visit your grandkids, take a road trip, or simply read on your porch, not worrying about the expensive toy that needs your attention, your time, and your wallet. Mike eventually sold his sailboat. He told me it was bittersweet, but mostly freeing. I realized the best part of that dream wasn't owning the boat, he said. It was the idea of having the time and freedom to enjoy life. And I don't need a boat to have that. Neither do you. And it doesn't stop there. Sometimes the biggest and most expensive trap comes disguised as something even more noble, providing a bigger, better home for your family to gather. But is a larger house truly the answer, or just a bigger burden wrapped in good intentions? Let's take a closer look. Upsizing to a bigger home. When you retire, it's easy to think, Now's the time to finally get that dream home. Bigger, better room for all the kids and grandkids. It sounds lovely, right? A big house with plenty of bedrooms, a massive kitchen for holiday gatherings, a backyard for family BBQs. But before you dive into upsizing your living space, it's worth stepping back and asking, does bigger really mean better? Or does it mean bigger headaches? My friend Susan and Paul learned this lesson the hard way. After decades of raising their kids in a modest 3-bedroom house, they retired and decided to upgrade to a 7-bedroom mini mansion in a fancy suburb. They pictured Thanksgiving dinners with all the grandkids under one roof, summers filled with laughter by the backyard pool, cozy Christmas mornings with everyone gathered around a fireplace. And for the first year, it was magical. Everyone showed up. Memories were made. But then life happened. Their adult kids got busy, jobs, kids' school schedules, other in-laws to visit during holidays. It became harder and harder to coordinate those big family get-togethers. Meanwhile, Susan and Paul were left maintaining a house that was way too big for just the two of them, cleaning empty guest rooms, heating and cooling a space that often sat half unused, paying sky-high property taxes, homeowners insurance, landscaping fees. What was once their dream home slowly started to feel like a giant, empty reminder that they had built a castle no one had time to visit. And let's not even talk about the maintenance. Bigger homes mean bigger problems. More pipes to leak, more roofs to repair, more yard to mow. Retirement should be about less responsibility, not doubling down on chores and expenses. Here's a truth no real estate agent will ever tell you. In retirement, downsizing is often the smarter, happier move. A smaller, well-located, cozy home can offer freedom, flexibility, and the one thing money can't buy, peace of mind. Less cleaning, lower utility bills, less financial stress if the market shifts or unexpected repairs pop up. Plus, when family comes to visit, it's easy. Rent an Airbnb down the street if needed. No need to buy a castle you only fully use twice a year. Susan and Paul eventually realized they didn't need a giant house to make beautiful memories. What their family cherished most wasn't the size of the dining room. It was the time spent together, whether at their place of vacation rental or even over a simple dinner at a restaurant. If you're thinking about upgrading your home during retirement, ask yourself, who are you really doing it for? Will your family actually visit more often just because you have extra bedrooms? Can you comfortably afford the ongoing costs, taxes, utilities, maintenance for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Would that money be better spent on experiences, travel, hobbies, helping family, rather than square footage? Bigger isn't always better. Sometimes it's just bigger. There's something truly beautiful about retirement life that's simple, manageable, and full of experiences instead of obligations. A life where your home feels like a cozy launch pad for adventures, not a giant anchor tying you down. At the end of the day, the people you love won't care how many bedrooms you have. They'll care how welcome they feel when they walk through your door, no matter how small it is. Of course, not all traps are about physical things you can see or touch. Some are hidden in promises of quick wealth, easy returns, or investments that sound too good to miss. And in retirement, protecting your money is just as important as enjoying it. Now, let's talk about the real danger behind unvetted financial products and why saying no might just be the smartest investment you ever make. Investing in unvetted financial products. When you hit retirement, it can feel like you've crossed the finish line. You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now, finally, it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But just because the race has slowed down doesn't mean the risks have disappeared. In fact, in retirement, new types of financial dangers can pop up, and one of the sneakiest comes in the form of shiny, too-good-to-be-true investment opportunities. Bill and Nancy, a couple we know from our community center, fell into this exact trap. A few years into retirement, a friend introduced them to an amazing opportunity, a brand new cryptocurrency investment promising 20% returns within 6 months. The friend was persuasive. Everyone else seemed to be jumping on it. Bill and Nancy figured, why not? What's the harm in trying to grow our savings a little more? They invested a sizable chunk of their nest egg. And for a little while, it looked like it was working. at least on paper. Then, almost overnight, the platform disappeared. Customer service numbers went dead. Emails bounced back. Their money was gone, just like that. No warnings, no do-overs. Just a heavy, sick feeling they couldn't shake. It's a heartbreaking story, but unfortunately, not an uncommon one. Retirees are often targeted for these types of high-risk, high-reward schemes because scammers know we have assets and, let's be honest, we sometimes crave just a little more security, a little more cushion for those unpredictable years ahead. But the truth is, in retirement, preserving your wealth matters far more than growing it quickly. Steady and boring often beats flashy and exciting. Unvetted financial products come in many flavors. Speculative real estate deals, startup investment clubs, high-fee annuities, exotic insurance products, and yes, trendy things like Bitcoin, NFTs, and private equity deals. They're all packaged with the same seductive promises. Easy money, fast returns, minimal risk. And that's your red flag right there. If it sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. In retirement, the smartest move you can make is to protect what you've already built. That doesn't mean you can't invest. It just means you need to be more cautious, more skeptical, and more focused on transparency and trust. Find a certified financial planner you trust. Someone who isn't just selling products, but who is paid to advise you in your best interest. Set up a solid withdrawal strategy. Understand how your money will work for you year after year. Lean into diversified, low-risk options that align with your actual needs, not just your dreams of doubling your wealth overnight. A great tool that some of our friends use is a retirement dashboard, a simple platform that shows your savings, income streams, spending forecasts, and what if scenarios all in one place. It's empowering to see your full financial picture instead of blindly guessing. And it can help you make better decisions when someone tries to sell you the next big thing. Because here's the heart of it. You only get one shot at retirement. One shot to live with peace, comfort, and dignity. There are no redo buttons. Gambling your hard-earned savings on a shiny new trend might feel exciting in the moment, but losing that security, it changes everything. Bill and Nancy eventually recovered, emotionally if not financially. They scaled down their lifestyle a bit, sold their second car, started budgeting more carefully. They're doing okay, but they often say they wish they'd trusted their gut when that opportunity first sounded too good. So before you jump into anything new, slow down, get advice, ask hard questions, sleep on it. A lifetime of savings deserves a lifetime of careful stewardship, not a risky roll of the dice. Protect your future. You've earned that much. At the end of the day, retirement isn't about collecting things. It's about collecting moments, peace, joy, and the freedom to live life the way you choose. By staying wise, staying cautious, and remembering what truly matters, you can make sure the years ahead are everything you've dreamed of and more. Retirement isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about protecting the life you worked so hard to build. As tempting as it may be to splurge on luxury cars, designer gadgets, timeshares, or dream homes, the smartest way forward is often simpler, quieter, and more intentional. Think twice before making big purchases that serve more ego than everyday joy. A modest car, a comfortable home, and practical tech are usually all you need. Remember that freedom, not ownership, is the true luxury in retirement. Be wary of locking yourself into timeshares or expensive hobby equipment that can tie you down both financially and emotionally. Flexibility is a gift you've earned. Don't trade away for commitments that might feel heavy later. When it comes to finances, protect your savings fiercely. Avoid unvetted investments and promises of quick returns. Work with trusted financial advisors and focus more on preserving wealth than chasing risky growth. Most importantly, redefine what wealth truly means. It's not measured in square-footage jewelry or flashy possessions. It's measured in peace of mind, family dinners, spontaneous road trips, and the ability to wake up each morning free to choose how you spend your day. In the end, a rich retirement is about living fully, not spending recklessly. Choose wisely. You've earned it. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment with number 1 to let us know you watched the whole video. We appreciate it. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more great content. See you in the next video.